Hi guys, Andrea here. Been another busy day at our house today. We got to spend some time outside tonight with all the kids, which was lots of fun. It's Tuesday night, and Tuesday's always game night at our house, so it was so beautiful tonight. We decided to go play outside on the picnic table, so we got to play outside, and then we spent time in the yard just swinging, and the kids were playing tetherball and wrestling and being crazy, and it was such a beautiful day today, so I was very much enjoying it. This afternoon we worked out in the garden and got all of our onions planted, and we also worked in the little flower bed around our plum tree. We got it all cleaned up, and there was a little retaining wall that was needing some work, so we worked on that a little bit. And the flower bed underneath the boys' bedroom window, we got that all cleaned up and ready for the season. So we got lots of work done today, and got our schoolwork, of course, done this morning. Oh, and I made yogurt today, so it's just about done. I got some raw milk that we get from a friend of ours, and I decided this time to go ahead and make yogurt. And it's been quite a while since I made yogurt, so hopefully it turns out. But I think it looks pretty good, so hopefully it's tasty. I put some raspberry jello in, so it made it raspberry flavored. So the kids really like those little fruit flavored yogurts. So I think it's going to be tasty for them, and it'll be done here in a little bit, so we'll check it out and see how it is. But so tonight I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I make the star charts. So if you've seen any of my homeschool binder videos, you'll see that on the front of the binders I always put a little chart so that they can mark off their paces as they finish them. And you can buy star charts from ACE, but they're generic, so it has down this, there's like 4 squares for the 4 quarters, and then down each side shows the subjects, and then there's a 9 weeks in each square. So they would just put a star on for in whatever week that they finished it. The way I'd like to do mine, since I can be more specific, is I just make 1 square per pace. So for each subject there's 12 squares to put in their stars. So as they finish, they'll put a star in, and then when they're all the way done with the school year, then all of the little squares are filled up with stars. So it's a fun way to keep track on the front of their books how they're doing in their school year. And we do other things on there too besides just their pace work. So they have Greek lessons, so we'll put those on there, and sometimes I add like reading just on their own. I'll assign, say I want you to read 36 books this year or whatever, just on your own, and so I'll put 36 squares for books for them to mark off. And this would be for the younger kids who read really quickly. And for nature notebook pages, sometimes I'll put a section on there for that. And we used to be in Cub Scouts, and so I would actually have a section for marking off things for their Cub Scout badges that they were working on too. So there's lots of things that you can add into your star charts. So I'm going to go ahead today and show you how I do that. So let's get started. Okay, well, we're going to start like we always do on clicking a new blank document in Microsoft Word. And I am going to keep this a full page size, but I am going to go here to page layout, and I'm going to change the margins to narrow. And I'm going to go back to the Home tab, and I'm going to click no spacing on my words because that's how I like to do it. So I'm going to start by putting a name at the top, so I'll use my name here and the school year that we're in. And I'm going to change those fonts right now to something that I think is funner. So I'm going to click that, and I want it to be centered, and this is going to be big. I'm going to make it real big there at the top, and I'll change this one also. And of course you can make it however looks appealing to you. And center it. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and insert a table. So I'm going to go to the Insert tab, pick Table, and I'm going to just click Insert Table here, and then I'm going to have 12 columns because I'm going to have 12 paces, and of course you can make this any size you want, but I'm going to go with 12. And I'm going to pick 2 rows per subject. So I will have, let's say, I'll do extra so I can show you some other things. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to put 18 rows in this one. Click OK. And you'll see here that this does not fill up the page, and these are not the kind of shapes that you'd want for putting stars. So I'm going to select this whole column right here, and then I'm going to right click and I'm going to put table properties, and I'm going to go specify height. I'm in the row tab here, and I'm going to click specify height and make this 1/2 inch. Alright. And before I get very far, I'm going to go ahead and put a border around the whole thing right now. Oh, looks like one of my tabs went, or one of my lines is off the page. I'm going to make this a little smaller here and see if that'll bring it back up onto the page. Still too big. I made that a little smaller. Yep, now it's all in there. Okay. So now I'm going to select this whole grid here, whole table, and go to design, and I already have 2 1/4 point here. I think I'll go up to 3 point line, and then I'm going to click to do all the outside borders. Let's make sure it's also on the page. Now it got too big again. So let's just make this a little smaller. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll just get rid of a couple rows since I put more than I want anyway. So I'm going to select those, and then I'm going to say delete cells, delete the entire row, and that just gets rid of them. So there they go. So I can make this back to being a little bigger. Okay, now right now the font that's going to be here if I start typing, let me show you here. It's just regular letters like this, and it's at the top and it's aligned to the side here. I want to make my whole table be centered and a different font. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the entire table at one time. So we're going to hover over it until we get this little arrow, and then I'm going to hold my mouse button down and then just slide all the way across. Oh, now I lost it. Try this again. I'm going too slow to show you. Okay, so it's all selected, and then I'm going to right click on one of the cells and go down here to cell alignment, and I'm going to pick the one that's centered. So now everything's going to be centered right in the middle of the square, and I'm also going to choose my font right now, and that's going to change the font for the entire thing. So everything I type from here on out will be centered, and it will be the font that I want. Now I'm going to start making lines for each subject, and I want to have one row be the name of the subject and one row to show the paces that we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select this whole row, and I'm going to right click and click merge cells, and then I can type in here the name of my subject, and it's going to be right in the middle. Then I'm going to skip a row and come down here and do the next one. Then I'll skip a row and come down and do the next one. Skip one and do the next one. Skip one and do the next one. And then let's do a literature here. And we'll do a nature notebook one. Okay, now I like to put the pace numbers in, so I'm going to start typing those in here. This would be for a 3rd grader, and I'm just pushing the tab key. Every time I finish typing, I push tab and it goes to the next cell. And then, to make it really fast, you can just highlight this whole row and hold down Control and then C for copy. Then I'm going to click to the next one and push Control V for paste. Control V, Control V, Control V, and then I didn't have to type that whole thing. Now for literature, we have two options because there's usually, the way we do it, we only have 6 literature books in the year. So I have 12 spaces here and I only need 6. So I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then just gray out these with some color using my paint bucket up here. If I click this down arrow, it gives me all the colors to choose from. That's one way you could do it. Or, I'm going to go ahead and undo all that. We could merge 2 cells together, which is how I think I'll do it. So I'm going to select 2 cells by holding down my mouse button and then just sliding over to the next one. It selects both of them. Then I'll click Merge Cells. So I'm holding down my left mouse button and sliding across to select the next one. Then I let go. Then I right click to get this little menu to pop up. Merge Cells. Merge Cells. So now I'll type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then since we don't really have any numbering for the nature notebooks, I'll just type 1 through 36 here. Okay, so that's the basic star chart, but I would like to make it look a little more colorful, so I'm going to go ahead and color in all of these subject lines. So I'm going to start back here at the top, and I've clicked into this math section, and then I'm going to go up to my paint bucket and click the down arrow, and I'm going to choose yellow for math, and I'll come and I'm going to choose red for English, green for social studies, blue for science, purple for word building, and I'll do orange for literature, and maybe a lighter green for nature notebook since that seems kind of naturey. So that's that, and I think I would like to do one more thing just to make it look a little more defined. So I'm going to select this whole row here. I'm holding down my left mouse button and sliding across. Then I'm going to go to Design, and I think I'll make a slightly smaller line here. So I'm going to go to the 2 1/4 point, and I'm going to click on just the bottom border. So you'll see it made this a little bit darker between these two, so it kind of defines the whole math section here. So then I'll keep doing that on all the rest of them. And now I don't need to push the down arrow button because I've already chosen bottom border, so I can just click that this time. And there we go. And that's pretty much the whole thing. So let me I'm going to zoom it out a little bit so that you can see it all here. That's what it looks like all finished. So it's all ready to print at this point. Okay, so here is the one that I made earlier this year for Justice, and I was going to show you a few things. I went ahead and I trimmed the edges of the paper with scissors so that it would be smaller than a normal sheet of paper, and then I put attached it to a piece of orange paper because that's his color. So this was just a piece of 8.5 by 11 orange colored paper. And then I trimmed that down a little bit and put the whole thing on a piece of black cardstock that was 8.5 by 11. And that's totally unnecessary, but I just thought it would look nice, so I did that. Then I ran the whole thing through the laminator. You can see by this light spot here that this has been laminated. And again, that's not necessary, but I like to do it because then it just makes it a little sturdier, and plus you can peel the stickers back off, so if somebody marks something wrong or whatever, then we can peel it off, which has happened on occasion. So I hope that was helpful to you, and you guys can have fun making your own sticker charts and personalizing them for your family. Let's see, tomorrow I will be having one more video chat like this, and then Friday I will be putting out a video on cooking, so you guys can look for that coming up soon. And in the meantime, I hope that you will go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet. So we'll see you guys again tomorrow.